Irish America is awash with stories of successful Irish migrants, the men and women who built industrial cities, served its people, or educated its children. Lizzie Halliday, who left Antrim as a child, is not an Irish American success story. She was described by the New York Times at her death in 1918 as the worst woman on earth. Hi guys, and welcome back to Crimeco, where we break down some of the most gruesome true crime cases from all over the world, giving you the most up-to-date detailed information. If that sounds like something you are interested in, be sure to subscribe and don't forget to give this video a like. A like from you really helps the channel. Thank you. Now let's dive in. Nestled in the foothills of the Catskill Mountains lies the charming village of Jeffersonville, New York. Known for its picturesque scenery, hiking trails, and small-town charm, this quiet community seems like an unlikely setting for one of the most shocking murder cases of the late 19th century. Yet in 1891, the town was rocked by the gruesome crimes of Lizzie Halliday. Lizzie Halliday, born Eliza Margaret McNally in County Antrim, Ireland in around 1859, moved to the United States with her family when she was young, either at the age of 3 or 8. In 1879, she married a man known as Charles Hopkins in Greenwich, New York, but his real name was Ketzbull Brown. They had one son who was later institutionalized. After Hopkins' death, she married Artemus Brewer in 1881, but he died less than a year later. She then married Hiram Parkinson, but he left her within a year of their marriage. She later married George Smith, a war veteran who had served with Brewer. After an alleged attempt to poison him with arsenic, Lizzie fled to Bellows Falls, Vermont, where she married Charles Plaisdell, but disappeared 2 weeks later. In the winter of 1888, Lizzie resurfaced in Philadelphia, going by the name Maggie Hopkins, and set up a shop. However, she was later convicted of burning it down for the insurance money and was sentenced to 2 years at Philadelphia's Eastern State Penitentiary. In 1889, now going by the name Lizzie Brown, she became the housekeeper for Paul Halliday, a 70-year-old farmer living in Burlingame, New York, with his sons. Though decades her senior, Paul soon took Lizzie as his wife. But their marriage was turbulent from the start. Lizzie exhibited increasingly erratic behavior, punctuated by spells of insanity, according to Paul. Before long, violent tragedy struck. On a spring morning in 1891, the Hallidays' farmhouse erupted in flames. As fire consumed the homestead, Paul Halliday's mentally disabled son John remained trapped inside, perishing in the inferno. Lizzie emerged from the wreckage unscathed, claiming she barely escaped with her own life. But suspicions mounted about the fire's origins when it was discovered that John's bedroom door had been locked from the outside. In Lizzie's pocket was found the key. With evidence stacking against his wife, Paul Halliday confronted Lizzie about his son's death. Her response was to burn down the family's barn and grain mill in an apparent attempt to destroy any remaining proof of wrongdoing. Lizzie fled the smoldering ruins with another man, but authorities caught and committed her to an insane asylum. After several months of coerced treatment, Lizzie convinced doctors she was cured and secured her release. She returned to the Halliday farm, welcomed back by her faithful husband. But Lizzie's murderous ways were just beginning. In August 1891, Paul Halliday vanished without a trace. Lizzie insisted he had simply gone away on business, but suspicions festered among the townsfolk. When pressed for answers, Lizzie gave conflicting accounts of her husband's disappearance. It was then that authorities obtained a warrant to search the Halliday property. On September 4, 1891, investigators uncovered a gruesome sight: 2 female bodies crudely buried in hay within the barn. The women were bound at the wrists and shot through the head execution style. They were soon identified as Margaret and Sarah McQuillan, a mother and daughter from New York who were acquaintances of Lizzie's from her days in Philadelphia years prior. Realizing she was cornered, Lizzie concocted an elaborate story. She claimed the McQuillans had shown up at the farm unannounced. After an argument, Lizzie shot the women in self-defense, hiding their bodies in a crazed panic. Her bizarre behavior and incoherent ramblings led most to believe she was faking insanity to avoid punishment. With Lizzie detained on murder charges, the search for Paul Halliday continued. Days later, his gruesome fate was revealed. Hidden beneath floorboards inside the farmhouse was Halliday's badly decomposed remains. He too had been shot in the head at close range. Lizzie Halliday was charged with all 3 murders and transported to the Sullivan County Jail to await trial. While imprisoned, her violent outbursts only confirmed the public's belief that she was much more than an innocent farm wife. She attacked guards, refused food, and set fire to her cell in failed suicide attempts. For months, Lizzie had to be chained to the floor, screaming threats and obscenities at any who passed by her cell. As sensational newspaper stories spread nationwide, Lizzie Halliday became a macabre celebrity. The emerging field of forensic psychiatry diagnosed her apparent madness as moral insanity, a condition characterized by violent, irrational behavior and lack of remorse. To many, Lizzie seemed the embodiment of pure evil. Her chilling crimes even drew comparisons to the infamous Jack the Ripper murders in London, though no direct connection was ever proven. On June 21, 1894, Lizzie Halliday arrived at the Sullivan County Courthouse to stand trial for her shocking crimes. The case drew intense public interest for its gruesome nature, with hundreds crowding the courtroom daily. Lizzie sat emotionless throughout the dramatic proceedings, staring vacantly ahead in her own detached world. Over 2 weeks, prosecutors built an irrefutable case against the accused killer. Witnesses recounted Lizzie's long history of arson and her volatile marriage to Paul Halliday. Forensic experts highlighted inconsistencies in Lizzie's alibis and linked bullets extracted from the bodies to her gun. The evidence overwhelmingly showed Lizzie Halliday's guilt. After just 1 hour of deliberation, the jury returned with a swift verdict: guilty of murder in the first degree. When asked if she had any last words before sentencing, Lizzie stood defiantly silent. She was condemned to die by electric chair, the first woman ever to receive this fate. Yet Lizzie's date with the executioner would never come. Deemed criminally insane, her sentence was commuted to life imprisonment in the Matawan State Hospital for the criminally insane. Far from learning the errors of her ways there, the former farm wife sunk deeper into madness and violence behind asylum walls. For many years, Lizzie Halliday languished in Matawan, rotting away in her cell. She made repeated escape attempts and attacked staff, seemingly determined to harm and kill until her final breath. The object of her compulsion was Nellie Wicks, an attendant nurse who cared for Lizzie. When Nellie tendered her resignation in 1906, Lizzie flew into a murderous rage at the thought of losing her caretaker. As Nellie entered her room to bid goodbye, Lizzie pounced and stabbed her over 200 times with a pair of sewing scissors. By the time guards restrained Lizzie, Nellie lay dead in a pool of blood on the asylum floor, the victim of Lizzie's insatiable bloodlust. 12 years later, Lizzie Halliday died of kidney disease, ending her decades-long reign of madness and murder. In total, she killed at least 5 people, though many suspected the true number was far greater. For a time, the quaint farming community of Jeffersonville lived in fear of the Catskills Ripper lurking among them. Lizzie Halliday's savage crimes shocked the nation, dominating headlines from New York to California. She was a macabre celebrity whose story enthralled the public with its chilling depiction of a woman possessed by gruesome violence and evil impulses. Though gone for over a century, the echoes of Lizzie's dark deeds still haunt the pastoral paradise of the Catskills. Hers is a grim reminder that within even the most idyllic settings, a dormant darkness can lurk unseen. Thank you for joining us for this chilling story of Lizzie Halliday, one of America's first female serial killers. Her shocking tale of deception, violence, and murder is a reminder of the darkest sides of human nature that still exist within all of us. It calls us to reflect on the importance of cultivating compassion, showing mercy, and seeking justice in a fair but firm manner. While the damage caused by twisted individuals like Lizzie Halliday can never be undone, we can honor the memory of their victims by learning from their stories and resolving to build a society based on morality, truth, and love. Let this disturbing glimpse into the past bolster our determination to create a more peaceful future full of wisdom, humanity, and hope. Stay safe out there and spread love. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest true crime cases. We appreciate having you as part of our community as we explore the mysteries that continue to fascinate us all. Stay curious and remember, justice may stay hidden in the darkest corner. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.